Welcome to It All Starts With You. I'm your host, Eileen Lemmelman, licensed clinical social worker, best-selling author, and motivational speaker. We'll share stories of hope, perseverance, and success that will inspire you to live a meaningful life. This show will motivate you, educate you, and encourage you to manifest your dreams into reality at any age. Because it all starts with you. Now on to the show. Hello there, my friends. I'm Eileen Lemmelman. I'm the host of It All Starts With You. And are you ready to get your world rocked today? Because I have invited two amazing women. They are inspirational. They have such impact in other people's lives, especially women. And they are really leaders. They lead by example with positivity. They are faith-based women. They lead with their faith as well. And so we are in for a treat because not only are they going to share stories of inspiration and also just to lead us down a path of such positivity, but they're going to share stories. And you know, that's how we learn from each other. We learn with each other's stories because everybody has a story and everybody comes to the table with their own lessons that they've learned. And so I'm not going to waste any more time, but I want to introduce now the first guest. So my first guest is Jane Goldie Wynn. She is a friend of mine, and we met a while ago, several years ago. You can call her Goldie because that's what I call her. And isn't she Goldie? She's golden sunshine. She just brings such light and grace and positivity everywhere she goes. She's really a sister of mine in the fact that we're both social workers, and she's a motivational speaker, an inspirational speaker, but more than that, she comes with her book that she wrote, which is called A Rainbow in the Night, A Journey of Redemption. And guess what? This book has been made into a movie. Yes, you heard it right. It's a full-length narrative documentary movie. And she tells her story with such sensitivity and empathy and non-judgmental approach to her story of pain, suffering, but also a lot of joy and redemption. So let's welcome Goldie.
Well, thank you, Eileen. And remember, we met right here at the Brooklyn Cafe.
That's right. We met here.
Yes, at my first book signing after
Your very
COVID.
first book signing was right here.
Yes.
And you stood here, and I was listening to you, and it was like, you know, it was like love at first sight.
Yes, it was. You said you wanted my book. Should I be on your show? And blah, blah, and the rest is history.
It was such an amazing meeting,
Yes.
and it was like it was meant to be.
Yes, definitely.
Shared.
Yes.
That's Yiddish for meant to be. So, Goldie, let's start off by saying, wow, you have been on quite a journey, pivoted and turned, and really did all different kinds of things. Did you ever think that you would be writing a book and that the book would be made into a movie? Did you ever in your wildest dreams think that?
Well, not exactly, because the book took me 20 years to write. You know, I started it way long ago, and it was just really hard to write because the main issue, and you know, as a social worker, is that if we're not healed, we write from the victim stance, and that's not a good place to write from. So I felt like I had to work through a lot of issues, a lot of therapy, and come to this place where I would be writing from a redemptive place, from a healed place, from a transformed place, from a place of surrender. And so finally, when I got to that place, then in 2019, the book was completed and published, and it was right before COVID. And that's what I said. This was the first place that I was able to have a book signing right after COVID. And then I kind of wondered if it might be made into a movie, only because the way that I wrote it was very interesting. Because when I would have to remember a scene of my life, it was almost as though I saw my scene on a video. And as I was writing, I stepped into the visual scene and I wrote from that place of pain. So I had to re-experience the pain. And so the reader resonated with that. They could feel and sense my pain. And so when I talked to a producer one time and explained to him how I wrote the book, he said, well, surely that should be a movie one day. And so I guess it was 2 years later, the movie's done. We had our premiere, you were there, in June of 2023.
Yes.
And it's been very exciting because even since that time, it's been nominated in a festival in Texas called Content 2023
Yes.
for 2 awards. One, the Best Storytelling Documentary, and the second is the Best Biographical Film. So that's just quite an honor, and I'm just so excited about that.
It is an honor, and it is wonderful. And of course, so the awards are wonderful. But let's back up a little bit before we get to the awards.
Yes.
So I know it's your life story, and I know it was filled with a lot of pain, but a lot of healing as well.
Yes.
So what do you think you want people to know about your healing journey through this book?
That's a great question. Well, I think my main hope and purpose for the book and for the movie is that, if I can work through my issues, and it took, I could probably have bought 3 houses with all the therapy that I had. But, it was not only the therapy, but it was really God and allowing Him into my pain and trusting that He could heal me and that He wanted to heal me. And I had to be willing. And that's the big thing that I think many of us have to face. We put up our own walls and our defenses, and we're not so sure we really want to take the responsibility for our healing. So I think I finally had to come to that place where I was really ready and able and willing to surrender my painful past totally to God. And once I did that, then I felt I was free to offer hope to other people, because then I could say, if it happened for me, it can happen for you too.
Right. So you're talking about healing, and you're talking about really surrendering.
Yes.
But I want to frame it in a little bit of a different way, which is limiting beliefs.
Oh, yes, I like that.
Overcoming limiting beliefs. So what limiting beliefs did you have to overcome in order to really write this book and get it out into the world?
Well, I think probably there were a lot. I mean, I really suffered with depression a lot, and I went through some, abuse and some trauma. And I think what I had to do is just not over-identify myself with the trauma. I had to see myself as somebody other than, it's like I have an arm, but I'm not the arm. I just had to get to a place where I wasn't just seeing myself stuck in my pain and stuck in my trauma and identifying as that. That was my real limiting belief, and I had to believe that I could get beyond it with the Lord's help, and that I could be free, and that I could, live a life of freedom and excitement.
I love that idea, because so many people really make their identity their pain.
Yes.
Make their identity the really horrific kinds of traumas that they've been through. And we're so much more than that. That's just one part of our story. So I love that you were able to really separate the pain story from your whole identity of who you are.
Yes. Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so let's talk about what what do you think people, because listen, you've had people read the book and you've had people see the movie. What has been the feedback around, sharing your pain, sharing your story. I mean, listen, it was a very, very open, vulnerable story. Not only about your own personal journey, but about your family as well.
Yes.
And so, you know, whenever we open up that door to not only our pain, but a window into where we came from, that could really trigger so many people in so many different ways. What's been the feedback around that?
That's a great question. And I can't even tell you all the different people and the testimonials that I've heard since people reading the book and seeing the movie. But what I get more than anything is that people are really responding to the fact that I was willing to be transparent and vulnerable. The fact that I was really willing to put my pain out there. And one of the other things that came, especially from the movie, after the movie, was that people were very touched by the fact that even though I had this abuse with my father, and it was like a very difficult relationship in some ways, but what they were struck by is how I was able to totally forgive him, and that I could celebrate his success as a renowned psychiatrist, you know, in the 1950s, and what he did for the mentally ill, and, you know, and I spent a good amount of screen time on him, you know, really able to share what he had accomplished and what he taught me, and how he opened up my heart to want to be in the helping profession. And I think that says volumes, because I think so many people don't forgive, and they just stay stuck in where that person was and how we were treated by that person.
They stay in the anger.
Yes.
And of course we know the anger doesn't hurt them, it hurts us.
Yes, exactly.
So, but you know, we're talking about almost like two different things. Maybe not, maybe yes. Which is, you know, the therapy is one avenue.
Yes.
And really digging deep and going deep within and healing the traumas through therapy. But the other piece is the faith that you really started to connect with.
Yes.
So can you talk about how each of them had an impact on your life and your healing?
Oh, that's another great question. Yes, it is sort of a simultaneous thing in a way. You know, my pain brought me to my faith, because, you know, I always think about when we come to the end of ourselves, we come to the beginning of God. And when I'd lost all hope, you know, somebody presented to me, you know, the love of, I'll say Jesus, or Yeshua is his Hebrew name. As a Jewish person, you know, I was told never to believe that Jesus was the Jewish Messiah. But when somebody presented him to me with so much love, I was just drawn to him, because that's what he's all about. And so I did embrace that, and way back in 1974, and from that moment forward, my life was forever changed, because I had God as the center of my life, and the one that I could go to at all times for any reason, and no matter what I was going through. And even Dave and I in our marriage, he's the center of our marriage. So when we would get stuck or we would have difficulty, we would just stop and pray. And, you know, there's something very humbling about praying together. That's like, okay, we can let this go now, can't we? So
let's hand it over to him.
Yes. So that's really what it's all about.
You know what I want to talk to you about now? So we're talking about, you know, how you really found Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. And you and I have had a lot of discussions about this, because we're very different when it comes to that. But you know what's so beautiful, and I want to just touch on this, because I think what your movie and your book has really allowed people to do, at least it's allowed us to do this, which is embrace differences without feeling threatened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so let's talk about how you and I have had really deep, very deep, differing discussions.
Yes.
But in the end, what matters? The love between two people.
Yes.
The respect that we have for each other.
And learning from each other.
And we learn so much from each other, because we have very different opinions.
Yes. And some things were very much alike. And I think that's the balance. There's so much that we have in common, that even though we do have these differences, we focus on what we share together, you know, which is our love for people and helping people and bringing the best out in people, right?
Right.
And all of that. So I think it's important that you embrace the differences, but you don't let it define you, and you don't let it divide you. And all too often in our country today, sadly, it's a very divided country because of that, which it shouldn't be.
Divide and define.
Yes.
I love that because
just made that up.
Yes, but it's really, really good. Just like we were talking about not allowing pain to define us.
Yes.
We also can't allow our differences to define us.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
They define how we can really listen to each other.
Yes.
And that's the beauty of, my friend Goldie, and you'll see also when I bring up my other guest, Dr. Mandy Fresh Johnson, who's going to be coming up very soon. It's about really listening in a very empathetic, respectful way.
Yes.
Listening to each other, coming together in community, coming together in collaboration, holding each other, loving each other, even if we have differences.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So this is what brings us here, right?
We're a microcosm for the world should be like.
I know, exactly. We should really
we
be
did.
a model.
We had a show. We did do our Dolly and Goldie.
We had our little Facebook show that was called Heart to Heart.
Yes.
But, also, which I want to talk about something very, very important in my world. And what I really love to bring to my community, which is we're never too old.
Yes.
And it's never too late to achieve the dreams that we want to achieve, to pursue our goals, to really, really never allow limiting beliefs such as age to come in the way of how we want to live a meaningful, joyful life, right?
Yes.
So did that ever, how did that enter into your world? Because listen, we're not 20 years old, and yet...
Even though we act and look at...
But we are seasoned, we're wise, we're in the next stage of our life, and yet we're doing such amazing things.
Yes.
How did you not did age ever come into this, or did you ever think about, well, I'm too old to be writing a book or making a movie or, doing this? Did that ever come into your thoughts or into, anything that you thought about?
Well, that's interesting you should ask that because I don't know, age doesn't define me at all, really, and so I never really think about it too much. But then when people say to me, I don't mind sharing that I'm 74, really 47, but 74, and and here I am. We take your pick, right? But so it's just like, okay, it doesn't matter because if I have something to say, I believe God gives me the energy. He's given me tremendous energy and tremendous joy. And so it is the best season of my life because I feel that so much is behind me now, and I can come from a place of real freedom and joy and offer that to the world. So I don't really think about age, but it is inspiring for people to know that it's never too late.
Exactly.
And that it shouldn't stop you.
That's exactly where I want to end. That here we have this 74-year-old woman who is such an inspiration to us all. She took 20 years to write her book. She healed. She allowed her faith to really enter into her life and really direct her in the ways that she's been directed. And look at her. She's just shining bright. She's just so glowing. And, and you can have that too. We are going to end here to take a commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to be talking to another amazing woman about her journey and what she brings to the community that I have, which I'm so, so passionate about. It all starts with you. So I'll be right back.
Palermo, Landsman & Ross is a full-service tax and accounting firm located in Cooper City, Florida. For over 35 years, they have been assisting clients worldwide with solutions to assist clients with income tax planning, bookkeeping, consulting, and complex accounting issues. With constant tax law and rule changes, you need a competent, professional, and responsive accounting firm to have your back year-round. Please visit www.plrcpas.com to learn more about Palermo, Landsman, and Ross and the services they offer.
Eileen Lemelman is a highly experienced licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist, offering 30 years of insight into the healing of trauma, anxiety, and depression. With a patient and individualized approach tailored to every client's needs, Eileen leads her patients on a journey of self-discovery and healing, with the goal of ultimately achieving balance, joy, and fulfillment in life. No matter how old you are, it's never too late to live a passionate, happy life. Eileen is ready to support you on your journey to healing. Contact Eileen Lemelman today at 631-988-8453 to schedule your appointment today.
You're watching It All Starts With You with Eileen Lemelman. To join in the conversation, give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. Now back to the show. Hello, we're back, and we are back here with somebody very special. Today, I have the honor of having Dr. Mandy Fresh Johnson on my show. She's a trailblazer in the beauty industry, and she's the CEO and founder of Faces Made Beautiful. That's the name of her company. But she's more than that. She really empowers women through finding their most beautiful self on the inside as well as the outside. And she is here to speak with us today about not only all things beautiful, but about what she has accomplished in her life that is so much leading by example, such a role model, such an unbelievable beacon in the community of light and of inspiration. So let's bring Dr. Mandy Fresh Johnson on the show. Hi, Mandy.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
I am good. I'm so good. I'm so happy that you're here.
Yes.
I know. So tell me, how did you start in the beauty industry?
I started at the age of 13 working with my auntie. You know, I was one of those curious kids. I would go in just to see what she's doing. And from time to time, she would have me, help her with her clients. So that was the seed that got planted at the age of 13. That's how I got started.
Wow. And how did that, like a metamorphosis, right? You sort of transition from beauty to women's empowerment. How did that happen?
Well, that started in 2014. I was at church, and at the time, my pastor at that current time was preaching a message. You have to go after your dreams. You have to go after what you believe in. And I literally sat there and had an epiphany moment as if I got caught up in a trance and a vision. And I saw myself doing a makeup workshop with a group of 25 women. So that's how that got started. So it started off in 2014 with a makeup workshop, teaching women in their various professions how to apply makeup and, how to present themselves when they step out. That's how it got started.
Right. So did you attract women of all ages right from the beginning?
Yes, I did. Right from the beginning. Yes, ma'am. I mean, women love makeup. I don't think it doesn't matter what age you are. You love makeup.
And you and I both have that in common.
Yes,
we love makeup, and it's makeup is more than just makeup.
Yes.
Makeup, yes, adorns our outside, but it's about having that ritual every day of being sacred, taking sacred time to just take care of yourself.
Yes.
Right?
I just take it as, makeup is something that we put on, but I believe it starts with your inner person. We have to make that up first, right? Because, I've been in seasons before, Eileen, where I had my makeup, hair, and I did not like the person that I was staring at in the mirror. So, yes, I'm all for the makeup and hair and lashes, as you can see, ladies, but you have to start with the makeup of within first. That
The
makes a
makeup
big
of
difference.
within.
Yes.
Woo! I like that.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So I know you stepped into this other area, which, well, first of all, you're a woman of faith, and that really guides you and leads you.
Yes.
Just like we were talking with Goldie.
Yes, yes.
And that guides you and leads you. So how do you listen to God and know that they are directing you in the right way?
Well, I
He is
believe,
directing you.
let's just say this: anybody that you spend time with, you get common with their voice. Just like Eileen, nobody can tell you your husband. You know your husband. You spend time with him. It can be 20,000 people in the crowd. If he calls your name, you're going to hear him. Right? So it's the same thing with God. I believe if we take time to spend time with him and cultivate that relationship, because it's really going within, because everything that we need is already on the inside of us.
So true.
And a lot of people have not gotten acquainted with what God has placed within them. This is why they're so busy trying to search out for different things around them. But if we take a journey from within and we get to that place and we come in alignment with God, everything else begins to fall into place. And you'll hear his voice and know his directions.
So is that what this book is all about? Because my friend, Dr. Mandy Fresh Johnson, wrote her book too, The God Confidence. Is
Yes.
that what this is about? Learning God's voice, getting acquainted with God's voice, and really feeling comfortable with it inside of us.
Yes. So the book that he gave me, The God Confidence, because you know what? I've noticed that a lot of people have missed out on opportunities because of the lack of thereof. And what people don't understand is without confidence, without his confidence, you'll pass up on opportunities because you'll probably feel that you're not qualified to step into that room or to have that position or to take that job. But I believe once people tap into that confidence, because that's the strategy he's given me, a lot of people, confidence has been attacked. Even especially when COVID-19 hit, the shutdown, and now that the world has opened back again, some people feel inadequate in certain areas.
Yes.
So if we learn to tap into that God confidence, the sky's not even the limit, okay? Once you tap in, it's a go from there.
Yes, 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 so true. So I know that you also have this passion to run these huge events. Like, I don't even know where did that confidence come from? Like, you're getting, you're putting together this huge event that's coming up at the end of August. I mean, at the Fort
Next week.
Lauderdale Performing Arts Center.
Lauderhill.
Lauderhill.
Yes.
And, it's like, whoa, how did you have, in Yiddish, we call that chutzpah. How did you have the chutzpah to put together such a huge event? And tell us about it. What is that really event all about?
So remember during the conversation, I was saying that my first event that I did, it started off as the makeup workshop. So after 2014 happened, because the Bible says, write the vision down and make it plain, and then those who are called to will help you run with it. I was given the first piece of my vision in 2014. And sometimes you'll get a vision, God will give you something just to see if you'll run with it. And I ran with it. And then he gave me the other pieces. He said, okay, you did the makeup workshop. That's nice, right? Now I want you to help the women.
Test.
He passed the first test. That was the first help. You got over yourself and you did what I asked you to do. Now let's teach the women how to discover their beauty from within. Beauty, again, is not just makeup. It's the whole component of a person. And beauty it doesn't have to derive onto just one gender. You male and female. There's so many different moving parts to us. We have our spiritual side. We have the things that God has called us to do in the world, whether it's in music and film, whatever it is. You got to be able to tap into that beauty so you can go full force. So it started there, and from there it just took off into what you see now.
Yeah. Well, I was at an event, I think was it last year that you had an event at the where
Yes.
was that?
The Broward Convention Center.
Yeah, the convention center.
Yes.
And so that was the first event that I attended,
Yes.
which was amazing.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
But this year, you're surpassing that.
Yes.
And we're talking about, I guess, not only women, but people
Yes.
in business and
Yes.
what that's going to look like
Yes.
in the next year, 5, 10 years.
Yes.
What is that going to look like for all of us? Because things are shifting.
They
and you
are.
talk about COVID-19.
Yes.
That has really shifted so much.
Yes.
I mean, people, I just heard this news thing, news report yesterday that they can't find bus drivers for our children.
Yeah.
Because I think what COVID-19 did, it like woke so many people up to say, you know what, I'm valuable.
Yes.
And I need to be compensated and reimbursed for my value. And if you're not going to do that, I'm going to do it for myself.
Exactly. What COVID-19 did was created a new economy, which we call it a gig economy. You have people starting their businesses, offering personal services, business to business, without needing a company to specifically do that. So what we're seeing now is a great awakening that's taking place.
Yes.
People are now tapping into that thing that God has placed in them from when the time that they were born. And people did not have the guts or the confidence to go after it. But COVID-19 forced you to do
Yes.
it because you needed income, you needed streams. So we had no choice.
Yes.
So now that you've done it for a couple of years, you see, hey, I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, this is my passion. I don't have to go on somebody else's job to make the money, but I can do this. But the vacancy has also created an opportunity for those who've been trying to get in but could not get in.
This is true.
So it's not really a lose-lose situation, because if you've been trying to get into that corporate and they have vacancies because people are no longer wanting to do it, now you can put your demand on the table. Like, hey, I'm worth $80,000 a year. I'm not coming for no less than that.
Right.
But because there's a vacancy, guess what? They have no choice because there's a demand. There's a
Yes.
need for what you carry.
Yes. And also, I really have to add this to the COVID-19 kind of experience that we all had, and how that was an awakening. Because as I've said before, and I've said it on my show before, what COVID-19 is, it allowed us all to pause,
Yes.
to be silent, to be able to listen to what you would say, God, and I say, my inner voice, my intuition would tell me that there's more there, and I am going to get it.
Yes.
Because when you're going, you don't have the time to stop and really connect to that.
Yes.
But COVID-19 said, put a break to it all, and said, start listening to yourselves, people.
Yes.
Start really giving yourself space to create something new that you never thought you could.
Oh, yes. And it's a changing of the guards too. You have a lot of people leaving, but you have another generation that is rising up, that is stepping in with something different and unique. And sometimes tradition may not be ready for it, but it's happening. And even those that are used to traditional things, you have to pivot so you don't get lost in the sauce.
That's right. That's right. Pivoting, and also really being very, very vulnerable and taking a risk to be a trendsetter.
Yes.
Which is what you have done with this amazing event that you're
Yes.
going to be, really holding. You are the sauce behind this. Talk to us about this event and what this really, what people can expect from it, and what they can, really need to go, because what are they going to get from this event?
So let me talk about first. I thank you for calling me the sauce, but I got to give glory to the sauce maker, okay? And that's God. So let me say this:
The sauce maker, I love that.
Yes, ma'am. So if you're in sunny South Florida, because the theme of this expo is how to economy proof your business, okay? There are things that are going to come down the pipeline. Are you ready? Because if you didn't learn anything from COVID-19, what's going to happen next is going to make COVID-19 look like it was just a playground. Like that was not the real deal. And what we're trying to do is basically help people get ahead of the curve. And it's not just for business owners. It is for head of household. You need to know how to prepare your family when things begin to shift. What am I going to do for resources? What am I going to do for income as a head of a household? We don't have these conversations, but we have to be prepared for it. So you're going to get the secret sauce at the Business Expo. We're going to show you how to do contracts with the government, your local municipalities, how to be a contractor, how to get grants, how to get loans, just different things to secure you, your business, and your family. And even those that are ministry leaders, you need to be here too. Because, tithes and offering is going to be running a little low. What are you as the leader of your flock going to do? So you want to make sure you're in position to set your church up correctly.
Now, did you hear how she spoke? That's the kind of energy she brings to any event that she's at. And if you weren't motivated and inspired and really, really excited by what she was saying, you're not, maybe you're not alive. But, I do have to say that I'm going to be speaking also.
Yes.
And what I'm going to be bringing is, how to really bring your whole self into it. Because, yes, we need those tools, like how to write a grant, how to, use the bank as our friend, not as our enemy.
Yes.
How to use credit line, how to have the, real courage and the bravery to step into your power. So, that's a lot of, intellectual quotient stuff.
Yes.
A lot of intelligence, a lot of, learning and knowledge. But you also need to be able to come to the table with a fully engaged emotional quotient.
Yes.
Because if you're not stepping into the next phase with your own kind of emotional toolkit, then you're not going to be successful, even if you have all those other kinds of, intellectual
They're
things.
Be left behind.
Yes.
Because the economy is shifting. We're going digital, and you want to make sure too, because we're not going to throw everything away, because people that have acquired skill sets and knowing how to build is going to be needed again. Mm-hmm. It's almost like we're doing a metamorphosis, but in reverse. We're kind of going back to what we used to be before most of the things are today. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's good that you know how to do a trade. Don't knock that, because we're going to need that.
That's true. We will need a trade.
Yes.
Because I hear so many women of my generation really afraid to step into their power because they don't understand technology. And so we want to help them overcome any of those limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Right? So yes, we need trades.
And technology.
Because
what if technology fail?
Right.
What are you going to do?
That's right. We'll have to go back to rotary phones.
Use a can and a string or something.
No, but we can't allow any of these limiting beliefs to stop us from pursuing our dreams, no matter what age we're at.
Yes.
Because, the thing that keeps us young is when we learn, when we're open to learning, when we're open to learning new things, and we aren't scared to learn.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So.
And you're also getting honored, so don't forget that.
Oh, my honor.
Yeah, she's also getting honored Friday night. It's going to be a party, y'all, so make sure y'all get there.
Oh, my gosh. Do you see what I'm talking about? She asked me to speak, and she's honoring me on top of that. Yes. I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to be honoring quite a few people in this community, right?
Yes.
I mean,
we're expecting well over 150 that's going to be there. Yeah, so it's going to be amazing.
Oh,
it's a formal networking event Friday night.
So we're in the Brooklyn Cafe studio.
Yes.
And you're going to be honoring, Dawn and Freddie too.
Yes, I
right?
am. Yes.
And they're going to be honored as well. So it's a community kind of function. It's a
Yes.
community event where we're all going to be there to celebrate one another, to learn from one another,
Yes.
to support one another.
Yes.
And we're going to step into, the end of 2023 totally ignited.
Yes. And this year we're doing it with a little twist because usually I always do it banquet style. But this year it's going to be networking and talking to people that you don't even know.
Yes.
Because your net worth is connected to your network, and we need to connect. We're going to need each other for the times to come.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to need each other, I'm telling you.
Well, this is true. This is one of
Yes.
the real keys to business is who do you know? And I'm not talking about the CEO of a company. I'm not talking about Mark Zuckerberg. If you know him, that's great.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about just, networking with the people in our community. They can help you.
Exactly, especially those that are going after jobs. It does make a difference who you know. Not the CEO. The gatekeepers are the teachers
That's true.
or just somebody who's in administration.
You got to get through the gatekeeper.
You got to get through the gatekeeper. And if you're acquainted with the gatekeeper, if they need help, guess who they're going to hire first before they hire somebody else?
That's right.
You.
Yeah, exactly.
People only hire who they
Listen,
trust.
bringing a little cookie is not so terrible to the gatekeeper.
Cookie and some milk, okay? We're not talking about the cookie you think we're talking about, okay?
No. We're not talking about the cookies on the phone. So where can people buy tickets? Where can, first of all, you said Lauderhill. Tell us where this event is taking place.
So the Lauderhill Performing Arts Center, it's in the city of Lauderhill. If you Google Lauderhill Performing Arts Center, you'll see that our tickets are listed within the box office in the city of Lauderhill. And you can also go on the website, dtbwempowerment.org or dtbw2023.eventbrite.com and reserve your ticket for the expo. And if you're watching the Eileen show, your ticket will be sponsored. Just reach out to Eileen.
Oh, look
For
at
the expo.
that. That's so awesome. I love that. So you heard it here. If you reach out to me, you're going to get a ticket. Dr. Mandy is going to give you a ticket just for watching this show. How
Yes.
beautiful. So we're going to take another commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap it up with these two amazing women together on the same screen right here at It All Starts With You. So come back.
Eileen Lemelman is a highly experienced licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist, offering 30 years of insight into the healing of trauma, anxiety, and depression. With a patient and individualized approach tailored to every client's needs, Eileen leads her patients on a journey of self-discovery and healing, with the goal of ultimately achieving balance, joy, and fulfillment in life. No matter how old you are, it's never too late to live a passionate, happy life. Eileen is ready to support you on your journey to healing. Contact Eileen Lemelman today at 631-988-8453 to schedule your appointment today.
Palermo, Landsman, and Ross is a full-service tax and accounting firm located in Cooper City, Florida. For over 35 years, they have been assisting clients worldwide with solutions to assist clients with income tax planning, bookkeeping, consulting, and complex accounting issues. With constant tax law and rule changes, you need a competent, professional, and responsive accounting firm to have your back year-round. Please visit www.plrcpas.com to learn more about Palermo, Landsman, and Ross and the services they offer.
You're watching It All Starts With You with Eileen Lemelman. To join in the conversation, give us a call at 888-994-4995, Studio A. Now back to the show. Welcome back to It All Starts With You. And if you have been with me for the past 45 minutes, don't even tell me that you haven't been so inspired, excited, and so just want to hear the rest of what's going on with Goldie and Dr. Mandy. It's been an amazing discussion. Both of them bring such beautiful messages to our community, and I thought it would be great to have them both together, and we could just all three of us talk about how we want to wrap up this amazing show that we've had. So let's go over to Dr. Mandy and Goldie. Hello, hello, hello. It's been really a great day, a great show. So let's talk about, how do the two of you, what do you have in common? What do you bring to, this platform that is, something that brings us together? Because Goldie and I were talking earlier about, not the differences, but what are the things that really draw us together, because we have so much in common. Just being human means we have stuff in common, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you think the two of you have that are really common themes and bring to this platform?
We both have the sauce.
Yes, we got the super sauce. Yes,
The super sauce.
yes, yes.
No, you have the sauce, but you both are very connected to the sauce maker.
Yes,
very
yes,
much,
that's
yes,
it.
yes,
That's
yes.
it.
what
And I'm
we-
not talking about Rayos.
No. We're talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we are. So I know you're both really very committed to your faith.
Yes.
And faith and the Bible and scripture is what really, motivates you and directs you. But, you still have to, listen, I think that you still have to be able to connect to a wide range of people, right?
true,
It's not
yes.
only about that particular issue. So how do you cross over so that you really stay true to your beliefs, but you also attract a wide range of people and, really kind of encourage all different kind of people to flock to you?
You want to start first?
Well, I guess I can just say what happened at the movie premiere was a good example, because there was about 170 people there from all different backgrounds, every single faith, every single way of doing life. There might have been some people who differed politically, who might have thought differently about the sanctity of life, but it didn't matter, because everybody came for the humanity of it. And they came because they wanted to hear an encouraging, inspiring story, which I think our world needs more of now, more than ever. And I think that's why the faith-based movies are taking off like crazy, because people need hope. They need encouragement. So I think I came to see that story will touch everyone. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, because everybody needs hope. Everyone needs to be encouraged and inspired. Would you agree, Dr.
I would
Mandy?
definitely agree, and I would add, the light. I believe when you carry light, everything is attracted. You ever notice when the light is on, every bugs come out everywhere to flock to the light. If you have the light, the people are going to come.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, I just a little plug for myself, because I am actually starting a challenge, a 7-day challenge called Get Your Glow On. And we're talking about the glow. And the glow doesn't come necessarily from, as Mandy and I were talking about, the makeup. Yes, that does add a certain amount of glow. But the glow is from the inside.
Yes.
The glow is from how can we really care for ourselves in the most, self-caring, self-loving way. Because it's then that we begin to glow. That brings the glow out, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe you have to tap into who you are, because a glow doesn't come from within itself by itself.
No.
There has to be something that draws in the glow. And I feel like if you can tap into that light, because once you understand you're the children of the light and the light, it's just going to happen naturally as well.
Yep.
You know, I know we're talking about light and glow and shine, but you know, some people might be watching who are really in darkness, who are really feeling very, very low, and are in actually shadows, and you know, are really saying, you know, I'm just going to say it like it is, right? I'm sick of hearing about the positivity stuff. And because I don't feel that way. And, you know, how can I really tap into or really kind of access the light because I'm feeling so dark right now?
So the first question I would ask, how is your environment? What are you allowing into your ear gate? Because nothing positive can come out if it's not going in. Like if we're watching negative movies and we're watching movies that bring the depression upon you or sadness, and it triggers these kinds of emotions, then there's no way for you to be positive. In order for us to exude it, we have to first take it in. So we got to check the environment. What's going on in your environment? What you're allowing into your ears, your eye gate? What conversations are you having with people? And what are you allowing people to pour into you? Because sometimes we become garbage cans to people.
Yes.
And then you're wondering why you're carrying a lot of negativity and a lot of baggage is because of that.
Yeah, I love that.
So
I
we have
love
to check
that,
that.
to really be very intentional and very mindful about our environment. And that includes people around us.
Yes.
That includes technology that we tap
Yes.
into.
Yes.
That includes, you know, any kind of news kinds of reels that we're watching.
Yes.
We can really decide what it is we want, because those kinds of real negative kinds of issues and thoughts and, you know, kinds of messages that we
Yes.
get affect us.
Yes, definitely,
Yes.
definitely. I like to think as a life coach, I talk to my clients about life-giving activities as opposed to life-taking activities. And you want to have far more life-giving activities than those that are life-taking, and to really look at that and get rid of some of that stuff. Because I know for myself and my husband, we just made a decision we're not watching the news anymore because it's just too distressing. There's nothing positive about it. There's nothing life-giving about it. And we just take it one day at a time, and we trust God, and He's going to show us what we need to know.
Exactly.
And I think, you know, it's more important for us to watch things that inspire us and encourage us and make us laugh.
Yes.
Comedy is so important. We always watch comedy every day because we forget, you know, laughter doeth the heart well.
It does.
It says that in Proverbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love to laugh.
We laugh a lot.
I love to
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah.
And do you know what, you know, there is a therapy actually called laughing therapy.
Yes.
And people get together in a room
I
and
remember
they
that.
laugh. And, you know, if you ever, do you ever have that kind of laughter where you can't even breathe?
Yes,
Where the
yes.
tears are coming down your eyes?
We have to
where-
run to the bathroom.
Yeah. Maybe you do. You're 74.
Hey! Watch that age thing. Shaming.
But yeah, so yes, we have to really bring positivity. So as we wrap up and as we go, you know, finish this amazing, amazing show. So first, Mandy, where can people get tickets? Where can they find it? I know that they can, you know, write to me, but where can they find it online?
They can definitely go to dcw2023.eventbrite.com, and also our website will also direct you where you can go to find the tickets.
Beautiful. And it's next week, so get going. Make sure you show up because you can't miss this amazing event. And Goldie, where can people buy your book and also access your movie?
Okay, well, right now it's available on the website rainbowinthenightmovie.com. The movie is available on demand. So if you go scroll down just a little bit, you'll see the movie on demand. And when you click on $6.99 rental, you can have it for 3 days. and that's a good place to get it. And
that's
you can
great.
also get the book from the website or from Amazon as well.
Great. So, as you can tell, this was a really lively, heartfelt, beautiful discussion because we were coming from positivity. Positivity is contagious. And so that's what I want to give my community. Positivity, hope, optimism, and really encourage you to pursue your dreams at any age because it all starts with you. And that's all for today. Join us next time as we create a community that helps you feel accepted for being yourself, giving and receiving unconditional support for each other as we connect and inspire one another. And remember, it all starts with you.